I'm Edwin. I'm from Holland, and I want to explain to you what struggles we have in the Netherlands with being an ethical hacker. So I advise you to stay a little bit alert because I have 74 slides in 90 minutes. So I hope you can manage. Let's go. If I cough, excuse me, I fly a lot and I've got a cold once. So yeah, if you keep flying, you keep a cold. So excuse me for that. Who am I? Edwin, 1970s, pushed a lot of buttons when I was a kid. My parents hated me for that. Learned a lot about hacking, old BBSs, old modems. And what I actually wanted to do was get all the hackers I know in all these years I hacked together and get them in a room and drive in a car, a washing machine, a website. It doesn't matter, you get it back broken, and that's what we built with Zerocopter. I'm not talking about that today, I'm talking more about my own struggles. In my free time, I'm a member of the Guild of the Grumpy Old Hackers. Where we help young kids who try to go the other way to steer them back into ethical hacking. So that's a daytime job, basically. And I'm a member of the Cavalry, where we help medical device manufacturers, car manufacturers to just get a little bit secure. And those are hard talks. We had one with a car manufacturer a couple of years ago, and we said, we can drive your car and we can kill people. And they said, yeah, we know. And then I said, why don't you fix it? And they say, well, if we fix it, we have to get all our cars back. It's much too expensive. Yeah, but what if we kill somebody? We just pay the deceased family. So basically, those discussions we have, very awkward for me. I get weird mails once in a while. This one from a state secretary of justice, and I had to go. I didn't want to go, I was scared. But my office said, you have to go, and then something awful happened to me. Really, really bad. I had to wear a suit. Ugh, I hate this. So, no suits for me. So let's go to my talk. What happens to me in the Netherlands as a hacker community is this. Do you know this? Everybody wants to do public-private partnerships. They invite you to talk about public-private partnerships. And I really hate that. This one I laughed a lot about. The police is looking for volunteers to fight cybercrime. And we were like, how are you going to do it? I mean, the police and hackers, does it work? I mean, the police is our enemy, basically, yes? Hackers are the enemy of the police and basically of everybody. How are you gonna work with hackers when you're the police? Hackers see us as guys with ski masks. I never wear a ski mask when I'm behind the laptop, by the way. We love pizza. Try eating pizza with a ski mask. Doesn't work. We wear hoodies all the time, and why? Because it helps us work longer. That's the only reason why we wear hoodies. Only reason. Right, but then I thought, well, it's good to have enemies. You need enemies, right? If you don't have enemies, there's no fun in life. And I thought in 2013, we did something really cool. There was a Twitter war going on between some hackers, police, and military, and we decided to take it into real life. And we organized a paintball game where police and hackers shot each other. And it was awesome. And we are doing this every year. It's called Up Cyberpaint. Police, military, government, hackers, making teams shooting each other with paintballs. It's really fun. You should try it if you want. And I thought in 2013 there was a big conference of our government, the NCSC, and they organized an awesome conference. And we weren't allowed to go as hackers. So what we did was organize our own conference on the same day and get all the speakers from there in a car to our conference. And the government hated us for that because they paid them a lot and we had our own conference. But in 2017, we were on stage. So it works, you know. I thought, well, maybe there is something to this and maybe we can make this stuff work. And the NCSC does a great job in the Netherlands. And why? Because guys of the NCSC and girls are sent to hackers conferences. And that works. And why? Because the hackers at our government are still hackers. We have the same interest. And it doesn't matter if you're friends or enemy. If you have the same interest, you can become friends. And that will work. I mean, when I want to report something to the NCSC now, I don't call up the NCSC. I call up my friend who is at the NCSC. That's a way for us that this works. That's how you create the most important thing you need if you have a partnership. And basically, that's trust. But I'm from the Netherlands. And I'm proud of being Dutch, right? And I always think if we are somewhere that people see us for the great stuff we do in water management. But I spoke to a couple of you yesterday, and the only thing you see when you look at our country is this, right? Yeah? Well, it's true, basically. We are a land which allows a lot of stuff. And why we allow weed? We don't allow it, but we allow it. And I did this one in Paris, and I'm going over my time. Troy will kill me probably. But there were 4 guys coming back to me after my talk and asked to get this picture back up. And there were 4 French guys staring at the screen like this. It was really cool. But we allow this, we don't allow this. We allow hookers, and we allow hackers. We allow it. And why? Because we worked hard on it. We, as a hacker community, together with the government, created something called responsible disclosure, a protection mechanism for hackers who want to help everybody get more secure. And it was our actual policy. In 2018, we made it better. We called it coordinated vulnerability disclosures, basically the same, but now we expect something back from the companies as well. And I was even in their official document with a picture like this. I still hate it. I don't know why it's in there. This is how easy it is to get hackers to help you. Just get a responsible disclosure statement on your site and say, give us the information and don't do stupid stuff. If you can download a database, don't just download 2 records and report it to us. We know that you can, and what we promise in return is we will not take legal action against you. And this is an official government document now in the Netherlands. If you are doing it the right way as a hacker, if you report in this style, you won't get prosecuted. And it took a lot of work, but we made it work, so that's awesome. And we get awesome tools. I think I heard you guys talk about chocolate as a bonus, right? I heard chocolate and bug bounty, so I'm guessing bonus. In the Netherlands, we get stuff like this. This is from the Dutch Road Tax Administration. If we report a vulnerability, we get a license plate. It's cool. I hacked the Dutch RDW and all I got was this lousy license plate. Really cool. We called them up, can I put it on my car? No. So, sorry. We can't put it on, but it's still cool. But still, not everybody understands stuff like this. I got an email once which was from an intelligence unit at the police, again police, and it looked like this. Conversations are always non-binding and in the first instance mainly for introduction and orientation, blah, blah, blah. As an intelligence service, we prefer to meet in a neutral public place, so it's a restaurant. And I was like, you know? And I got there and I was even more because they said like this. It was really creepy. Really, really creepy. But in the end, we got up to a good conversation, and I talked to them, and maybe Troy's also talking about it, about LinkedIn databases that got hacked and the passwords are out there. And I said, why don't you use that stuff if you want intelligence from us? And they said, we can't. And I said, why can't you use a database that everybody can download? Well, it has to do with chain of evidence, you know. The database is huge, we know, and we could use it, but we have to either take it when we raid a house, or we have to get it from an informant. And I was like, that's stupid, everybody can download it. So what I did, I was at another conference later with some government guys, and I knew there was a head of police. So I was on stage, and I offered him a USB stick with the LinkedIn database. And I thought I would get shot, but he came up, and you know what I got? Come on, bring it to me. A hug. That's nice. It works. I tried to get his gun, but I couldn't. It's holstered. Yeah. We talked about kids. You know, there's a lot of kids out there downloading databases with credit card information, not knowing what to do with it because they know they cannot use the credit cards, but they want to talk about it, so criminals come and they get arrested and blah, 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 blah. And we said, why can't we help them? So we talked together as the hacker community with the prosecuting service, and we created something called HackRight, where kids, if they are arrested below 18 for their first cybercrime offense, they are not going to jail. They're coming to us. They send to companies to learn ethical hacking, to tell what they did wrong and to guide them again into the good side. And that's the way we try to help as well. And then the police says, yeah, but why don't you just call us? I said, well, if I call you, there's a big problem for me. I want one contact when I call somebody. But if I call the police, I get sent from island to island to island to island, and I don't know who I'm talking to. That's not the way we want to do it. And then they said, but who do you call when you're in trouble? I said, well, it's easy. I call the Dutch head of Prosecution Services. And they're like, what? You have his number? I said, yeah, you want it? And they said, no, we can't have it. I said, why? I said, he's a person. No, he's the head of the Prosecution Services. I said, yeah, I know, but I was in a magazine with him in 2016. Afterwards, we drank beer, we had mutual interest, and now we have a trust relationship. That's how it works. I can just call him and tell him what's going on, and he will act on it. That's how trust works. And then everybody said, yeah, but hackers, criminals, why would you want to work with hackers? Well, you have to, people. You need us. For instance, experts. I don't know if you have this problem in the Netherlands, but then there is something happening and we need experts to tell something on TV. And unfortunately, I'm one of those, but let's go. The banks in the Netherlands had a big issue last year targeted by DDoS attacks. So all the media was about, everybody was asking for experts, and I was sitting at a show in the Netherlands together with a lady from Deloitte. I was having a beer, it was free beer, so that's good for me. And then when we were sitting there and talking about it, our phones kept ringing. And we were like, what's going on? And it turned out on another station, there was also an expert. She was called Rian van Rijbroek. And I don't think you guys heard about her, but we haven't either. And she was in a show, an hour for being an expert on DDoSes and hacking. And then we looked her up, and she'd written a book together with a Dutch politician, and she was a hacker, the world's best hacker for 30 years. And that's a bit weird, because we know everybody in the Netherlands, we're pretty small, nobody has ever heard about her. And it got weirder and weirder, because she was talking about air-bagged networks. I guess she meant air-gapped, but she called it air-gapped network, so it was a bit of a laugh. What she also said was that every hacker had an app on their mobile phone and could make money come out of every ATM. It doesn't work that way. I think you still need a drill and then a USB stick to do this, but well, she said it could be done. But she also had a solution for everything. So every problem in cybersecurity can be fixed. I know the vendors are scared now. And why and how? By this smart blockchain. Nobody ever heard about smart blockchain, but she states smart blockchain is the solution for everything in cybersecurity. So this became a meme in the Netherlands, and this is also why you need real hackers. She reminded me of this guy. Do you know this guy? Guy Goma? He was applying for a job at the BBC as a cleaner, and he was sitting in a waiting room, and then somebody rushed in and said, "Where's Guy? We need Guy." So he stood up, and he walked with them, and he came on the show on the BBC, and it was an interview about Apple security. And he was there like, yes, everything is downloaded. Yes, yes. Look this up. It's really, really, really fun. Why do you need hackers? Because we think differently. That's the only thing. The only thing that makes us different from everybody is we think differently. And this, we don't make holes as hackers, people. We find holes which are already there, and we like to report about them. That's the only difference between you and me. Who of you owns a Tesla? Who of you wants a Tesla? Look under your chairs. You never know. Oh, it's a different show, I guess. Tesla has an auto drive mode where you just push it and it drives itself, but you have to touch the steering wheel every now and then. You don't if you put an orange on the steering wheel. You know? And they fixed this now, so what you now have to do is get a hook and a bottle of water and put it on your steering wheel, and you can drive from here to everywhere for free. It's that easy. What's this? A trap. This is a trap, people, for a self-driving car. And why? It can get in because of the broken lines. And it cannot get out because the lines are closed. You have to push your self-driving car out of this circle. And you're laughing now, but wait until your kids get this and start to work with charcoal and stuff. It will be a mess. What's this? Nobody? A practice lock for lockpicking. We like to do that. When we have no computers, we pick locks. This is to practice because you can see all the springs. Where don't you put lock like this? On a military base. But people do. Why? You need us. You need us hackers to fix stuff like this. A friend of mine once said, I can walk into a bank at night with whiskey. And we were like, what? Show it. So I hope it works.
So we're locked, but there was a rec sensor up there.
It's easy. Watch the finger, right? Oh, why? Because there's a heat sensor on the inside. If you walk out, it opens. So if you blow whiskey in it, it evaporates, you get a heat signature, and you can walk in. It's that easy, people. And don't focus when you're in cybersecurity. Don't. There was a hotel chain who had a new app, and they say, we don't need keys. You get something on your telephone, and you walk to the door, and you open it. And they invited hackers and the media to test it. And I was invited too. And they were stupid because they did that. And I said, what is the challenge of this test? And he said, we have an app, and we want to see if it's safe, because with the app you can open the door. And I said, yeah, but what's the challenge? I said, I need to get in the room, right? And they said, yes, that's the challenge. I said, cool, I thought about that. And I brought a 70-kilo magnet, I put it on the lock, and I opened the door. And they were like, no, that's not what we mean. I said, why would we hackers work 3 weeks on reverse engineering an app when we can walk in with a magnet? We are too lazy. Don't focus when you build stuff like this. Don't be stupid. Don't get everything in your house. I mean, this, Amazon, Alexa, do you use it? No. Alexa, what's the weather? And she needs to say, look outside, but she doesn't. She gives you the weather in Fahrenheit. In America, people order their groceries with this thing. And we forget that there's animals like this parrot who now order stuff as well. 20,000 toilet paper rolls. Alexa, I'm out of toilet paper. Well, new rolls. That's the way it works. Who of you wants a LinkedIn connection with your toothbrush? Why are we building shit like this, people? You need hackers to help you fix this stuff. And we think everything is cool now, but the old people don't get this. Really old people have so much trouble with all the stuff we are doing. I mean, look at this. It's so, so sad. So sad. And she knows that if there's a USB key on the street, she can't pick them up and put it in a computer. But she doesn't know the trouble is in the cable now. And then everybody says, oh, it's just hacker stuff. No, you can buy it at Wish with a 4G implement as well. Your charging cable is a problem at the moment. We need to fix it. Okay, I got 2 more minutes. How are we going to work with hackers? How? It's difficult, but it's possible. In the Netherlands, we do it. Trust, number 1. Get to those hacker conferences. Drink beers with hackers. Make friends. You have the same interests. Share your thoughts. Work together. Do stuff like this. If they give you a solution or a vulnerability, work with them, learn from them, and learn from each other. And that way you get friends and you know you get helped. Become frolics. It's an awful word, but I like it. Even the green behind it, you know, frolics. When colleagues become friends, that's what you need to do to work with hackers. We at Zerocopter have researcher programs, responsible disclosures, and why? Because we want to engage the hacker community with companies and vice versa. We are basically building the bridge between that. And why is that? Because I have a dream, and I have 1 minute to share the dream with you. If you look at all the hackers at the moment, there's about 10% doing responsible disclosure, coordinated vulnerability disclosures, don't want anything in return. 30% espionage. I think you will keep that, we can't fix that. And there's 10% basically activism. Okay, we need activists, otherwise it's boring. Then we have 15% script kiddies and 35% criminals or people making money from hacks. What if those 35%, the majority of that is kids who downloaded databases and get lured into criminal activities because they can't use the database? If we can explain to them that finding a database like that and reporting it to the place where you found it and getting money for that, if that works, then we can ideally get those 35% over to the good side. We have 15% script kiddies left. They want to become ethical hackers. Come to us. We will train you. We will help you. We'll make sure that together we can fight everything on the internet. In the ideal world, if this works, my dream, 60% of all the hackers would be on the good side. Fixed. Everything fixed. The world is a better place. I got 12 seconds. It's awesome. I want to warn you for my last slide, but I want you to keep in mind, watch on the left what it says, because I hope you can take it to heart after my short presentation. We are not scary. Please come and hug us. Thank you very much.